at this part of the story, that was the first time I think I ever thought that I was attractive, because someone did call the fire department and the police
And
department.
how old were you?
I was like 23, 22, 23, and like after the accident, the bike rolled. I got up, the adrenaline kicked in, and I was able to pick it up. It was like a 750. I took without adrenaline, I couldn't pick it up. But I picked it up, I moved it to the side of the freaking road, and the police department came and the fire department came. And when they came, I was one of the guys was asking me questions. And I suddenly, like, mind you, I'm like scraped up. I have a bloody
Welcome,
arm.
Gray Pill Podcast. Here we go. Hey, welcome, Gray Pill Podcast. Welcome to the Gray Pill Podcast. I appreciate y'all. You're most of the host, Angelus. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification button. If you don't want to see my ugly face, we can hit it. Check us out in Spotify when you listen to us all day driving down the road. And like always, let's go check out everybody else in the sphere. You got my homeboy, my brother from another mother, Primal Studies. What's going on, Primal?
Hey, good to see you all. Appreciate you. Happy Saturday.
And Mink, that's what there's food on the side. And my brother from another mother, welcome home, sir. God bless you for serving us. Appreciate you. Deuce.
Appreciate you.
All right. I got a good little tidbit. So I'm gonna say shout out to Pearly Things again, because she had an interesting topic. I was gonna do two, one or the other, and we'll have an interesting topic I'll tell y'all guys about at the end of the stream, what we're gonna do for Tuesday. And we'll confirm the time because I can't remember off the top of my head. I had a lot of stuff going on, but the topic of the day is pretty much religion and relationships. Can they coexist? You know, what do you think about it? All that good stuff. So shout out to Pearly Things on her pregame show on her YouTube channel. She had a live stream where she was discussing some matters. So, and I'm gonna have like a few clips because I took notes and I did some timing on it. So I'm just gonna go around real quick and ask before everybody do their little reaction to it. So yes or no around the table. Do we feel relationship is a deal breaker in a relationship?
That religion is a deal breaker in relationships?
Yes.
For me personally, as long as someone believes in something. I'm not really like, I personally believe everybody's right. Like all their religions.
What if I believe in El Diablo? That's okay?
If you believe in some sort of like good God.
Okay, positive.
Like positive.
Okay.
Instigator.
All right. Because you said believe in something. So, I mean, me and Prime already mentioned about gender. So, Prime believes that he's the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I believe I am Optimus Prime for the Autobot. So, where we,
robots in disguise?
Yeah, I identify as Optimus Prime. I'm just saying. So, what about you, Primal? Yes, no, maybe so?
I think it can be, but I think when we have very, very strong convictions, it can be detrimental to relationships at times. Like if you very, very strongly believe something and your partner is just maybe so-so about it, then the partner that's very, very strongly believing may have a negative perception of the partner that just has moderate convictions or low convictions.
Okay.
I think it's a big portion.
All right. What about you, Deuce?
I think it's very important. It's not important if both people are like moderates or like non-religious, if people say like there's spiritual, non-religious, but in the long term, it could become a problem because people tend to find religion later in life. And if one person tries to find religion and the other person is not with it, it's going to cause a problem later on. So it may not be a problem today, but it'll be a problem later. It can be.
That's my girl.
Okay. And just to reconfirm that, Uncle Guns, what are we walking to? Salute to you, sir, with the middle finger, the anchor, the bomb, the the flames. I don't know the pirate and something else. Pretty much the conversation of today's religion and relationships. All right, it's a deal breaker. Yes, no, maybe so, and we're gonna discuss it on Everybody's on Parts. And shout out to you, Robin. Yeah. And my buddy, what's going on, Black Silver? The Ninjetti moves. All right, so let's get down to this little clip real quick.
Wait.
What's going on? You got anything to say? Sure.
I had the story. I didn't get to finish.
What story was that?
You don't even care about me. You're the worst husband ever. So
Nika, you can finish your story later.
Thank you.
We got business to do. We got business.
There you go.
Now we're gonna finish it. So
There you
all
go.
these
There you go,
firefighters came, and I'm talking to one of them, and then I looked, and like the guys were like kind of like,
focus up now, motherfucker, and say.
I hate you. You want to make me cry? I've had a day. I'll cry.
Hey, Deuce, it's been a long time since you've been away, man. There's a lot been going on.
Oh yeah, we missed you.
I missed you guys too.
It's a good story.
Yeah. All right, back to reality. All right, so go ahead, get this clip on real quick. Y'all let me know if y'all can see it.
You seriously not gonna let me tell the story?
Go ahead, tell the story.
No, I don't want to tell the story. I'm gonna log off. I'm
Go
not
tell the
part of the
story.
show.
You're
I
fine.
quit. No.
We'll take a vote.
I'm gonna take my toys.
In
I'm
the
going
chat,
home. I'm gonna
you know
pick up
what?
my
It's about-
toys, and I'm
You know
going
what? It's
home.
about. You know
I'm
what?
taking my toys and I'm going home.
Okay, it's okay. You know what? We'll get the chat. It's like 6 of us here plus the 3.
Hold on, what's he
Let the
say?
chat decide. She's talking about taking her toys home. Let the chat
Yo, she didn't say
decide.
I'm going home.
I understand that one. I'm going home. I'm not being.
Anybody want to hear Minka's story real quick for 2 minutes? She got to sum up her story in 2 minutes. Anybody want to hear Minka's story? Yes. 1 in the chat.
Aw.
2. Hell no. All right. Black got 1. He want to hear story. 1 or 2. Do anybody want to hear Minka's story? The
Who said
untold
hell
version
no?
of the never-ending story. We'll go with Black Silver. Not really. All right, cool. We got 1 and 1. Going once. We need a tiebreaker. Okay, he still got the 1 and 1. Anybody want to hear Minka's story? Go for 1, yes. 2 for no. And then we'll put a vote up for Deuce and Primal.
You mother effer. It would have just been fine if you had just let me tell the story. Just
All right,
go.
we got, okay,
Just
that's
go
2
the
to
stupid
1.
video.
2 to 1. So
Just play
Deuce,
the video. I'm done. We'll
everybody
see next
voting
time you
yes.
want to tell a story. No, I'm
Everybody
done.
voting yes. You sure? The
Eh,
chat's voting yes.
This is Angelus making me mad.
The chat's
You want to
voting
see
yes.
petty? Hey, you want to see petty? I didn't meditate all week. What's up?
I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
You have too much time to make those, man.
I know.
Long story short, this was the first time I ever noticed that guys were looking at me and like being cute and like bashful and like, or like patting each other. Like, look, bro, she's a chick. That was all. That's all my story. It would have taken 2 seconds, but it took longer because you kept being mean. Go ahead, play
I
your
wasn't being
clip.
mean.
Play your clip, bully. Play your damn clip.
This
I'm
is so
so-
perfect.
I'm
Alright,
so petty. Bring it.
Long as I'm rubbing off on you, it's all good. That's the important part right there. Yes.
Play the damn clip.
All right. So here, guys, give me 1 second. Again, shout out to Pearly Things. Appreciate her. Great topic, great conversation. All right, cool.
In the church, and there still are today.
Yeah.
You know, there still are today.
Yeah. I felt a lot of the single women in my church they weren't younger women, they were older women.
Mhm.
I found. Yeah, it's like they get to a point they want to get right with God after maybe having a play, having a bit of life, which happens, it can happen in different stages. But if we're talking about the women, yeah.
I actually think like there's a difference in the way, there's a fundamental difference in the way that men and women view God. And that's why there's so many women in the church. This is my hypothesis, right? So women are attracted to powerful men.
Mm.
And God is the most powerful man. That's why you'll hear,
That's interesting.
and that is why you'll hear women say, I don't need a man. I've got Jesus. You've heard women. I've heard women say this.
You know what?
And it's like, I don't hear men
That's
say
so
that.
true.
Men don't say, "Oh, I'm all right. I don't need a wife. I've got Jesus." It's like, oh, that's gay. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, but that's my theory. Like, my theory is we have a fundamental difference, whether consciously or subconsciously, in the way in which we view God, because God is the most powerful man, and women are attracted to powerful men.
So here's my question though.
So, what y'all thoughts on that? Shout out to you, WP folks. Yeah, per things do drop on positive vibes. I like her perspective. Also, the topic is, because the people that just came in, the topic is about religion in a relationship. You know, how's it affect everybody? Is it a good thing, bad thing? You know, what's your thoughts on it? So we're pretty much gonna dive in and discuss it. So if you're new, you just came in, I personally, we appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell as you're coming in. Definitely, if you feel like everything's good and just like it, hate us, love us, hit that thumbs up when you're walking out. So what's your thoughts on what he just said so far? Because Minka was pretty much as agreeing to what he just said.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
You guys want to go?
Yeah,
first?
I like what he was saying, because I think there's a lot of truth in it. I would maybe not necessarily go with and it's maybe a sub shoot off of the most powerful man, God, but I would say that I feel like a lot of women want a protector, somebody to save them, somebody to keep them safe, and God is the ultimate safety net, right? Whereas most men out there, they're not looking for somebody to provide them with safety or a safety net or to be their protector. Like, men view themselves as their own protectors. So I would say it's that's my little bit of a nuanced difference to what he's saying, but I'm in line with what he said.
Yeah, same here. My thing was like, well, first of all, that was a new term that I never heard how he portrayed that, and kudos to him. But on my end, when it comes to females making those little conversations, I feel like it's a safety blanket for them on one end, and then majority of them, it's like, I know two people, and I just forgot this in the link too, but it's all good. One is very religious, but she used the quote unquote her religion belief, the strength of God, because she's single, to more focus and push that religion toward the kids on a positive note and just raise them up versus just using that as a dating tool or a dating deflection. So she pretty much like, hey, I'm staying single and focus on my kid. God got me. And that's pretty much her stance on it. So what's going on? Deuce got that face.
I'm ready.
What's going on, Deuce?
I 100% agree with what he said, and I'm pretty much in line with what Primal said. I'm just thinking in my head all the times that, like, when you say like dating, like women, like, because women even bring God into dates, and they just be like, "Oh, I'm married to God right now," or
I heard that line.
I'm not in a relationship. I'm married to God. I'm in a relationship with God. Like, God is always the final rung on the ladder when they give up, you know.
Yeah.
But he's, Father God, right? So what happens when a woman runs out of options, right? Oh, she can always run to her daddy, right? And God is like her ultimate daddy.
No, but the negative part is she still would say that too. Let's just say me, you, or Primal come across this typical woman, and she'll like use that still as like a safety net. Like, oh well, like if she get triggered, someone like, oh well, God got me, and I'm like, where'd that come from?
Yeah. Can I tell?
Sure.
Okay, because I think that's a good thing and a bad thing, but I think that it's a tool that women have utilized because they've had to. Because at the same time, y'all want us to be virgins and like princess and good and wholehearted and all these things. That has to correspond with having God as that. Because a lot of women, like, look at me. What happened the last 6 months that I was like celibate and I was like, hey guys, you guys are men and you're hearing me say this.
Yeah,
like,
but we wasn't hearing you screaming out Jesus' name though.
Right, because but look at how much, and that's the issue. So if you take a look at me, I was not screaming out Jesus's name, but I was sexually frustrated like a mofo. And that wasn't just you guys. It was my few friends that I had that I was like, today's 783 without sex. And today I wore sandals so that I could remember what it sounded like. I would like, you know what I mean? I was over sexualized because I wasn't sexually active. And that puts a lot of pressure in that aspect where what?
I don't know. Prime got a cap on his head cocked out to the side. So
I know. I'm kind of.
The flip-flops?
She talking crazy. She talking crazy here.
Who, me?
Wait, you probably didn't get
Yeah.
that flip-flop references because she didn't say it right. And this is one of my favorite memes.
Do it.
It's like day like 768 without sex. I went running with flip-flops just so I could remember what it sounded like.
oh,
So I used to make that reference, right? When I went through a dry spell or whatever. So I used to make that reference, and I'm like people used to be like, I used to be like, yes, you was in there running in sandals, huh? And that was code for like, cause we'd be at work, and so that'd be code word for clipping. I was like, yeah, man, I went running in sandals. Catch me like what?
But so yeah, I said it wrong because I'm like on a thing. But on the flip side of that, you have a girl that, let's say I was into Jesus. That's my salvation. That allows me to have something else to focus on, so that I'm not focused on the sex that I'm lacking or the intimacy that I'm lacking, or because it's not just the sex, it's also the intimacy part. And like that's where I think it's still somewhat of a negative form, because then you go into this position where well, let me say one more thing about that, because if someone else is before the man that you're picking, you're not going to fall in love with every man that you date. That's kind of like the woman's mentality of how that would work in their brain to allow them to pick better. Because as women, like a lot of women, especially women with father issues, it's like, oh, you like me? You just, as a woman, you just ignore all of the red flags. And it takes a lot of time to get to that point. Whereas like women that have something else, like a placeholder, if you will, I hate to call Jesus a placeholder, but in this subject, it kind of is, you're able to like make better decisions than to just jump in right away. Right. Mm-hmm. So you got two parts of like the way that men are viewing women as being like holy and proper and clean and pure. And then you have the other side of like, it's a clutch so that they don't make rational or irrational decisions. And like, I'd like to know how Robin had a really good question, which is what was it? Where is it?
Is that Robin?
Yeah.
What do men want out of religion? What do women want out of religion? Yeah.
Yeah, because it talked about women, but it didn't talk about men. And like, I really highlight that part because I just came from a convention where it was a lot of religion. And man, Jesus is a really big focus.
You don't say.
It is a very big focus. And I believe in Jesus, but it is like, you know what I mean? A lot. And with being in that kind of environment, like, of course, I think it's logical for a female to think, okay, God's number one, Jesus is number one, a man is number 2 or 3 or 4. I'm going to be able to,
and that's the part where things get wrecked, because I have experienced this several times. Anytime I've dated a what I call overly religious girl, it always gets wrecked by that, because you will never be her number one, and that doesn't really bode well for most relationships unless you're both on the same wavelength, that
right, because
you're both not going to be number one because Jesus or God or whatever deity you want to pray to is number one. If you're both there, then it can work. But if you're both not there,
that's why it's important to vet, and why I also think that religion does have an aspect to play when dating and finding someone that you want to marry. Because like, I mean, I know people that somewhere in the marriage, the other person got really religious, and sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes they jump on, sometimes it doesn't work. But like that aspect of what you're talking about, if you were a Jesus guy too, then Jesus would have been number one for both of you and would make you guys grow even closer. But if it's not, then it just drives a wedge.
Yeah. And the other thing, and I'll say this, and because I wrote it up in the chat, but I just want to throw this out there quick. I think women from God or religion, they're looking for something to protect them. I think men that are super into religion, they're looking for somebody to tell them how they should live their life. They're not necessarily looking for somebody to protect them. They're looking for a guidance on this is how I live a good life. Whereas women, I don't think their main priority with religion is this is how I live a good life. I think underlying it's a sense of protection because God is going to protect me if I do the right things. That's my personal take, and that's my opinion on it.
Wow, that's a really interesting opinion because I see it as like I had a conversation with a lot of women this past week, and like I think that there's a lot of things that men could never comprehend without being a woman or without going through them as a woman. And I think you're kind of on the right track. My opinion is that it's not that women want to be protected by God, like nothing's going to happen to them. It's more of if no one else loves me, God loves me. If this man hurts me, I'm going to be okay because God has my back. So it's similar. Same, but different.
I can align with that. I can align with that.
You got thoughts real quick, Deuce, before switch up to the clip again?
Man, Primal and I vibrating on the same frequency.
Yeah, man, that's my brother. That's another.
You're right here.
There you go. All right, so I take that as a no. All right, but let me read some of the chats real quick. So shout out to you, Robin. Hey, Robin, I'm gonna send you a link. Just let me know because I think we have each other either on Facebook or Instagram. I'm not sure. So let me know in the chat, and I'll send you a link if you feel free. You want to jump on and just hang out with Gray Pill Podcast and voice your opinion, so your context can be more clear versus just in the chat. And
I'm gonna say you and your friend, she's hanging out with a friend right now, can both come on if they want to.
Okay, I didn't know it was another person that she was hanging with.
And then Angelus, I saw Nixon was interested as well. I saw him comment.
No, not that guy.
Nixon is more than welcome from down under because that's
yes, he is. I'm just joking.
He is more than welcome to give his perspective. But Robin says here, women. Excuse me. First, she was asking, "What do men want?" And that's a wide question. And hopefully, me and Mika in the future was working on two dynamic topics where we're trying to have couples discussions, and we're trying to have a segment with just all men. What do men want? What their thoughts on what they want for women, generally speaking, and the same thing vice versa with women. So we're trying to work on to get a segment of women on. It could be 3 or 4. And just let them go at it. So any questions the guys have, they can bring it up in the chat, and it'll be brought to the women. They can discuss it or previous questions. And same thing for the guys too. But Robin Axel says women are looking for safety or saviors? ? What are men looking for? All right, that's a good question.
You were saying that. Well, I think Primal said that men are looking for what.
Like a moral guide, like how to live how you should live your life. I feel like that's what most men that I've talked to and known that were like very religious, their focus was the Bible says I should live this way. I'm going to live this way. That's been their focus.
Yeah, to a degree, I agree with that too. Like, it's just like same thing like before, like the manosphere always talk about their peace. So I guess like it's like I always say it's elements to a lot of things, and it's
I would love to find if anyone disagrees with that. If any male disagrees with that.
What Primal said or what I just mentioned?
What Primal said.
I don't think nobody would disagree with what Primal just said.
I'm saying I would love to hear if anyone does disagree.
Unless you're an incel, that's the only thing I can think of.
The chat will say something if there is someone. It doesn't have to be an incel.
Dude's using the ones that be hating.
Oh my god.
I mean, am I wrong? Just saying. Okay, what else? Nixon got something. Let's see what Nixon got. I wasn't read that already. Because of religion. Nixon again. Okay, Black Silver. Better happen earlier than later. My best friend got caught in that situation, but they have kids. Excuse me. I know they ruined their relationships as well. Borderline cult type religion. Yeah, I think that comes to me personally. It depends on what type of religion, culty, because it could be like what was that movie back in the day where the Mormons, I guess, they had that type of religion where everybody like it's like one man, 10 wives.
Poly,
poly. And what Mormons have like that type of relationship too?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it depends. I mean, that to me, that feels like a little bit more culty about it. You pretty much put like 10, 15 years of your life with other random people. Well, not really random because they're interviewed and everything else. And then next thing you know, it's like one on the shows on TLC. I can't remember her name, but she actually like after had like raised everybody else's kids, been with them 10, 15 years. The house is humongous. Then after 10, 15 years, she say, "Hey, I want to get out." I mean, she has a right to do that, but everybody else kind of looked down on her, and it was kind of creepy, I felt.
Hey, Uncle Guns was saying, oh no, go ahead, go to Robin first, and then I saw Uncle Guns asking a question too. Yeah,
I appreciate it. Robin says, what if it's a connection to your soul? God gives you the direct connection to who you are best self. So a woman might feel like they will be their best self in a relationship.
That's what kind of what I was. Yeah. It's like a feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, all right. Gotta have to sit for a moment.
I had to be I had to be so polite and well behaved this entire week. It's coming out.
Yeah.
Goddamn California. Primer, repeat what you said so I can see if I disagree.
Yeah, so we were saying, what's the difference between women and men that are like highly religious? What are they looking for? And I was saying that fundamentally on the bottom level, women that are very religious, they want some sort of protection from God or their entity of choice, right? Whereas men, they're looking at a fundamental level for a guide for how they should live their life, what they should do or not do in these really highly religious groups. That's my take on it.
Like only like as a guideline to how to live life.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like what's their like driving force? If you took everything else away, what do they want out of religion? Highly religious men would say, I want somebody to tell me how to live a good life. And I would say that women, even if they don't say it, what they actually want is a sense of protection.
Right. And I'm trying to clarify, and you correct me because I don't want to misinterpret or misrepresent what you're saying. I think the difference would be women have a feeling associated with religion, whereas men have more of a understanding. It's more of a logical guideline.
Sure. That's fair. Yeah.
Robin pretty much is adding on to what y'all guys was discussing about. She says Lexi would like to know. Shout out to Lexi. Tell her what I said, Robin. Shout out to Lexi. Lexi would like to know, why is it being what's that? Generalized or genderized?
Genderized. It's not gender neutral. Lexi, it's not gender neutral. Then it's complicated because there's no one that's gay on here to actually represent the gay community. So we can't talk about things that we don't know. Unless someone wants to talk about it and come on here.
I mean, there was some controversy in a few other channels that other people assess, that other people talk about. But they're not going to come out yet. So until that moment, but we're not going to speak.
No,
we could start rating. Angeles, we could start rating faces if you want.
No, sir, you're not gonna cut me up in that. You're not gonna catch me up in that.
I'm trying to say, unless we had someone that was able to represent that thought process and mentality, we can't speak on it because it's 3 straight dudes and 1 straight girl.
Correct.
Like it's not fair.
Supposedly.
I guess he's speaking for himself, but go ahead. All right, here we go.
Allegedly.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. Robin said we would like to jump on, but it's a little loud.
Yeah, I read that.
Like we're too loud or they're too loud?
No, they're loud. They're somewhere else. Okay, everybody. Okay. Clicking on.
Let's get back. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm attracted to Jesus.
On some level, I don't know the inner workings of the psychology around it, but
so here's my question though, because is it that they're going to God or is it that they're going to the church?
I think a bit of both. I think church is like, it's a communal setting, isn't it? It's like people like to be around a certain community.
Yeah.
And I think it gives them that sense of belonging to a community of some kind. But I do think, I just think that it's different. And I also think like, see, the last girl that I was seeing, like, seriously, she was very heavily Christian. And I'm not anymore. Like, I grew up, but I'm really not religious anymore. And yeah, it was interesting because when we were like together, she was like, "Oh, I don't know if this is correct. I don't know if this is right. I think, you know, you should become a Christian." And I was like, "No, that's not going to happen." She was like, "Well, I don't know if this is right." And I'm like, "Well, look, we're in this. We love each other. Like, what's the problem?" And she was like, "I have to go and speak to my pastor, right?" And so I was just like, "Okay, I'm not happy with that, but if that's what you feel like you need to do." And then she came back and she was like, "Yeah, I don't think we can be together." And I was like, "Isn't that interesting?" I said, "The pastor must be your man then." She was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Because any man that can talk to you and tell you not to be with me must be your man. I'm clearly not him." Do you know what I mean? So I said, "Go be with your man." And she was like, "Oh, it's not like that." I said, "Listen, no, because if I went away and I said, oh, I'm gonna go and talk to Serena."
Yeah.
And I came back from talking to Serena and I was like, "Babe, I don't think we can be together." You're like, "Who the fuck is that bitch?" What the fuck is she saying? You know?
I ain't gonna lie, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I feel like that's a double standards. And I want to say, I think a lot of people put I can say people, period, but just when that relationship dynamic, that put too much emphasis on the Lord and the scriptures, because it becomes so much of a catch-22, and majority of people like myself will throw it so in your face, like, okay, like that situation, you want to contradict stuff that I'm doing and I'm thinking about, but you'll go back to your pastor, a man. Remember now, a man that makes mistakes and go back and forth. So, which is crazy.
I 100% agree with that, because I've been in situations like that, and it's like at the end of the day, he dodged a bullet, because what really it comes down to is the person's not able to make a decision for themselves. Because if she had said, "I'm not comfortable with it," that's a different story. But that just sounds like she wasn't ready or something.
Okay. Shout out to special shout out to Lex and Robin. Welcome to the Great Pill Podcast.
Thank you.
Hello.
How
No
you guys
video?
doing?
Okay, no
We're
video,
doing
that's
good.
cool.
Your thoughts so far, diving in with the conversation, the clips.
So
Go ahead.
me and Lexi, we dated. We were together for a while. So this is a perspective from also a woman who's dated women. That's, I think, why we came with the comment of why is it being genderized?
Which is a fair question. Thank you for asking.
I guess what I mean by that is so this kind of hit home because I actually went through something where religion was a big factor and it broke a relationship of mine. I had a best friend, a business partner. Him and I were inseparable. Like we were a power couple as friends. And then we found God together.
Oh, wow.
We both were on our own. We were both on a journey together where we started believing the same things. And then there came a point where we both kind of had to separate and, in a sense, find our own religion and what that really means to us. And then that's when the separation became, because he became an extremist and started like seeing me differently for being a gay woman. And that played a factor into our business, where he didn't feel like if I didn't become obedient to God, that our business wouldn't be blessed. So I actually listened to him, and I believed I played into that. And then when I started realizing that I was following his journey, I was like, wait a minute, like, what is religion? Like, why are we genderized? Like, why is it's all about for me, I understand God is the ultimate. He's our creator. So, but everybody has their own journey. Everybody's at a different pace. Everybody finds God in their own way. And that's where I fell in love with God. I felt as if God it's just love, man. It comes down to it's about love and no judgment and understanding that everybody's on their own journey. And if your partner and you can understand that and not force your own beliefs within them, then it could be a beautiful thing. But it becomes a problem when everybody's on a different page or a different chapter and starts like believing that it's just this one way, because religion is so much broader than that. But God is the ultimate creator. And if everybody understood that, then it would be less confusing. We just make it bigger than it is. We make it a problem.
I agree with you. That's because my belief is pretty much if I don't believe like AKA God, but I do believe there's a higher power. I do believe that, I think I had a conversation with somebody about it. I said that everybody just had that same mindset. Let's say, for example, you might believe in one. It's not God Himself, but you might believe in God. You might believe in this religion, that religion, but it all pretty much unifies the same thing: love and respect, right? So why don't we use that main two focuses and just push forward with that? And at the end of the day, when you literally meet your maker, you will get the answer you want.
Mm-hmm. So
go ahead.
So back to the whole genderization. So it's not about what women don't want safety. It's bigger than safety. It's really just understanding what God is. So I think that's what I meant by like why are we genderizing it? Like, why is it a man is only looking for one thing versus a woman looking for another? It's not about that.
It's
That's genderized. That's genderizing it. Like, man wants this out of God. It's not. We all want to just understand why we're here.
Yeah, but so at some point, some people just like, I don't even give a crap no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Let me ask a question. It's so you three men were all agreeing that that's what it was, right?
What?
That it men
in my opinion, yeah. In my opinion, I'm not
Yeah.
saying like my word is not the gospel.
No, I know. That's
Yeah.
why that's where I'm going with the question,
Yeah.
so that it's everybody understands. So, is it safe to assume that all three?
No,
of
so
you
I think
disagree?
because in the comment, when the comment was made, we were talking about like something specific, like dating, right? Like how people inject religion into relationships. So I think that was like a very, I don't know, like when the comment was made, but it was made. I think the context of it was in a very like kind of niche area, which was more focused on like how people inject God and stuff into dating. But in the broader scheme of things, people are looking for God in different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I was just saying something to somebody like 2 weeks ago about how people always find religion in old age because they pretty much sin their whole life, and then they get in their old age, and they conveniently they get in their 60s, they get religious.
Correct.
And they super religious. That last like 15 years of living, and it's like, man, you was doing a lot them first 60, or like from 40.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the reason that I was asking that question specifically is if all of you guys agree. My next question would be: are any of you guys, or have any of you guys been really religious, where you dove deep into religion and you were going to Sunday every or church on Sundays and all of that? Because then it goes into the play of like, okay, then it's and Parimal, you did specify it's your opinion, but I think other people can misconstrue it as like because a lot of people do that. We always have to be careful with what we say. Not that you're not careful, because you were careful. We're just re-clarifying that it's like an opinion.
Yeah, it's an opinion. My word is not gospel, and I was brought up in a very, very conservative Catholic home. I went to church every Sunday. I was an altar boy. I did all the things, and then
I'll go to your church.
I'll what?
Have fun.
Your gospel.
Yeah,
Have
but
fun.
along the way, like things change in your life, and your views change, and your understandings change, and what I thought God was when I was 15, 20 years old is very different than what I think God is at 38. I mean, you kind of, to your friend's point, like you find your own path and your own journey, right? So,
yeah. Now on my end, and this is my experience. So pretty much, I just grew up in a church. Like, when you're a kid, it's like you go where they tell you to go, right? So, pretty much Baptist, Christian, just pretty much a Baptist church. My mom didn't really force it on me, when I was living in my grandmother's house, when she go first, third Sundays and services and Bible study, all that good stuff. When they had the long stretch days. And then after that, pretty much it wasn't really much pushed on me by my mom. Her attitude was like, hey, if you feel like going, I'm not going to make you, but that was it. And then I think around 13, I made my own conscious decision just to go to like what Robin, her friend Lex, was saying. You kind of was trying to look for it to find that type of religion of your own. And somehow again, high school stopped, got back again, my quote unquote adult years in the 20s and dating somebody else. And then I guess they felt like my quote unquote girlfriend at the time, her family herself, I guess, felt like because I'm dating her, and I guess it kind of go with you a little bit, Lexi, because I'm in that relationship with this person and she's in the Baptist church religiously. So it felt like, okay, because I'm with her, I'm going to go and dive into that. Nah, it don't work like that. That is it don't work like that. You go, you do you. And if you feel something out of it and get something out of it, great. I don't have to. But I had some kind of pressures from the elders on her end like you just need to go. And so as then it came back to like, okay, well, let me look around to see where I can find it. And I chose my own path, my own church, got baptized, I think around like 24, 27. And my mom came, was all happy in that moment, and it just went from there. But then it turned to a shift where I felt to my end, it was like, okay, cool. It was like you're still looking. It was weird. It's like you're still looking, but you haven't found the answer you're looking for. So right now, like I said to Lexi and her friends, it's like, I believe there's a higher being. I could say God, Jesus, whoever, but I believe there's a higher being out there. As long as it's not positive, I do from time to time. Like I had another conversation. I wish he was on now. Vaughn, he's very religious, and me and him was literally had to coach somebody else for the rest of the night. Like, look, if it doesn't work for you the way you're doing it, how about try this? I'm not pushing that on you, but try this to see if it works, because clearly you got more negativity and toxicity going on in your life. Try this. And if it works for you, then it works for you. If it don't, okay, then look for something else. But look for a more positive being out there. Like Lexi said, love and respect. What about you, Deuce?
100%.
No, I think if in a relationship, it's like I would love to share this with a person if they're interested in hearing about it. But it's not a force. It's not. I don't want you to believe something because I believe it.
Exactly.
It needs to be for you, and if it's not for you, that's okay too. Because at the end of the day, I just look at it like I really don't know. We're all going to find out when we meet our maker, or don't, right? But that has to work for you. But would I love to share it with you or share opinions and ideas with you? Yeah. And then if at the end of it's like we don't agree, can we be respectful enough to agree to disagree? And also respect each other's views, and just like she said, like just love the other person for who they are.
Correct.
If you can't do that, then no, it's not going to work.
I don't know if you ladies, let me throw something out and I'll have Deuce chime in. Because I'm a big TV person. Have you seen the new series of season of Love is Blind? It was an episode where the woman, she was very, very religious, but she was contradicting out the ass.
Yes.
Okay. And that was that religion part she was pushing on the quote unquote. Now she chose him as a husband, but she had other sinful thoughts of another guy. And then when they met the family, she was still throwing it down his throat because he was, I think he was an atheist. He just didn't believe, period. He just believed like, hey, you know, more of the scientology of everything. So that's where I feel like like he was trying to tell her like it shouldn't be an issue. And versus her actions was kind of contradicting everything she said. That's what I have a problem with. If you're saying like, and I even dated somebody like that, like there was so much the holy roly, the Bible thumpers. We already know that term. She even had the prayer hotline, but I caught her cheating like a mofo all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Where it happens that way too.
Exactly. So that's the issue what I have with people.
Some of the most evil people are sitting in the church pew every Sunday, and some of the best people in the world have a bunch of tattoos, and
you
they're
know how
out
you could
smoking.
And I'll give you a hint because you know how you could pick them out. Primal, when you go to church, if they sitting so close up to the pastor and the deacons.
Yep.
So close up. What you got, dudes? Go ahead, Robbie. I'm sorry.
Oh, we have to go in about 1 minute, just because we have dinner reservations, but we did want to hop on. Thank you for letting us hop on. I guess the last thing I would say is me and Minka had a conversation not that long ago where, because like people like that, like you said, Bible thumpers or whatever, people are really into it and judging and they're doing a lot of shady things. Like I was mad at God for a long time. I was like, because I'm sitting here thinking it's religion that's doing it, but it's a lot of times it's people that do it. People will use God to act a certain behavior and excuse it, and really that's not what the religion's about. That's your behavior and your character and what you're choosing to do. But it's very hard to separate those. So I remember her telling me that one day. She's like, you're not mad at him, you're mad at people using it as an excuse, using it as an excuse to cheat, and why it's okay, it's a mistake, and God says forgive. Like there's a lot of complications when bringing religion into relationships, but it depends on the person too. But we just want to say thank you for having us.
Thank you guys.
Here.
Hey, anytime y'all want, we do it every Saturday. We have something Tuesday. You can hit up me or definitely Minka. Anytime, you're more than welcome to the Gray Pill Podcast, ladies. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, enjoy. Appreciate it.
Good night.
Good night. That was nice.
I was gonna say, did Minka did we enter the rapture? Because Minka just disappeared there for a second.
For real.
She
The
just
sinners were still
ghosted
here.
away. She disappeared. See, I read some of the books. I know what's up. Yeah.
I was getting cold. I had to turn on the heater. I had to put some pants on. See?
But to answer Mika's question about like, because your question you asked was, have you ever got religious because of a relationship, or you got religious at a certain point?
Huh?
What was your question?
My question was
like, what was our upbringings and stuff? Yeah.
If to qualify an opinion, it's kind of like me saying like gay people are the devil. Well, I've never been gay. They seem to be pretty nice every time I meet them. Like, that's just my only experience. I cannot say something that I haven't walked through, or I can't give an opinion. I'm a firm believer that people should not be giving an opinion on something they know nothing about. And that's why I was trying to qualify everyone's, like, because I know everyone has a different experience, and it was, you know what I mean?
Right. So I got into religion because of a relationship. When I was in college, you know, she was raised in the church and stuff like that. And I think she kind of fell away from it when she went to college, wasn't going to church all the time, wasn't doing her Bible study and stuff like that. So she got back into it like junior year. But by this time we've been together 3 years, and we was, you know, we weren't really following God, you know what I'm saying? So she tried to inject that later into the relationship. I was a little bit resistant, but I really loved the girl. So then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I could take this journey with you. So then I started going to church myself, started reading about God, because I didn't know nothing about the Bible. I would be in church, but I was that kid. My grandmother would give me like a piece of candy and some gum, and I fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? Now I think my grandmother drugged me because I think it was melatonin. Because there's no reason I was in the church as soon as the pastor started talking. Yeah.
On the next Great Pill podcast episode.
So, but then, you know, that put me on a whole other spiritual journey, like later on, that I kind of traced back to that, like me getting into it because of her, because it really wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? But it started getting me, like, making me journey into like realizing what my spirituality really is, which is a lot. Really, I'm where Angelus is, which is I'm spiritual, non-religious.
Yeah.
I'm a little everything.
Yeah, she is, boy.
But I've read everything. Like, I read the Quran when I was in Afghanistan. But
That's the most. Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say, I say this every time to everybody. I don't care if you're Jewish, if you're Christian, or whatever it is. If you hate Muslims, especially, I'll tell you this. The Quran is something that is so misunderstood, because if you actually read it, it says things like protect your wife, not treat her like shit. And we've just been we're like China. We've been so promoted. This is bad, this is evil, that we don't even look at it and actually take an understanding of what it is. And it has a lot of the same values as Christianity, and like the rigidness and faith and belief as like Catholicism.
They're the same. It's the same book. If you read the Torah, I read the Torah, I read the Quran, I read the Bible.
You my guy. That's right. Thank you. Because no one ever.
No, it's agreed. They're all the same books with different titles, right? I mean,
and that's why I told one Jewish girl at the convention this week. She was asking me about my faith and stuff, and I just told her, I'm like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think everybody's right. And she looked at me like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I think if you look at what like everyone, not just that, but like the following of how to be a good person, it's pretty much the same shit, different toilet. And she was like, people need to be more like you. And for some reason, no one's heard that. I've been saying that for years. I thought it was a thing. Same shit, different toilet. Yeah,
I heard that.
I never heard that. I like that. Yeah.
But it's just
that's one for Cali and Wisconsin 0.
Yeah, I know. Wisconsin down bad right now.
Yeah.
It's just I love that you said that, and I love that you brought up the Quran, and I love that you have also read other scriptures and other books to be able to understand that like all these words, it's just like a bunch of propaganda. At the end of the day, like, it's stupid. Like, do you know that they did that? I don't even want to get into it because I'm gonna get some people.
It's all good. Let us hit this clip real quick.
Say what's on your heart.
Go ahead. Yeah, you sure? Okay.
You really don't want me to, because it'll stir up a lot of shit.
I'm sure what I'm sure because it's crazy because I would say this before I go to clip.
Fuck it, all right. So if you actually go and you take a look at the different documentaries, they actually found that the Muslims were not were not in correlation with 9/11. When they traced it back, and this is years later that it's finally like you can search it online now. In this point in time, you can search for it online, not on Google, but on DuckDuckGo, because Google does the same thing that Facebook and Instagram does. If you actually look at the paper trail and everything that was done, there was no connection with them. There wasn't.
Yeah, Iraq and Afghanistan had nothing to do with it. Yeah, that's actually fact. It's out there.
Right, but like a lot of people still don't know that. The majority of the population does not know that. They still think Muslims are evil. That's all they
lead attorney.
Thank you, bro.
Why do you guys say that?
Because you're log stroking. You're log. This is my log stroke signal here. This is a log stroke.
Wait.
A common complaint from men about dating in the church is that they're for the streets too. And they thought they were going to go to church to find a wife, and they just find like a 304 in sheep's clothing, you know? Like,
yeah,
that's true.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's the same. I think that the women in the church are the same nowadays. The same because the women that, they're in the club, they're in the bars, they're doing the same things that we're doing, but I guess they have that in their head. They have that safety net of, but I'm going to church, and I do all this church stuff. It's like, well, you did have sex with Tyrone last night.
Father will forgive me for
you know what I'm saying? Like you did have sex with him last night. Like let's not lie, but if it makes you feel better that you're going to church on Sunday, then so be it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't.
When you say,
I gotta say something.
You said that, some guys said about the girls that go to church.
Hold on, before you say that, shout out to you. Oh my God. She changed her name. Now you're making me mad.
The pharmacist.
Yeah, thank you. Now you're making me mad. I've been trying to find you, girl. I've been hitting up your YouTube channel. I only think you have like an Instagram. I don't know. But let me know. I would drop a link especially for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you had, and I'll let Mika go. It was a moment where her and Allende was going at it, and she was holding her own.
That's when you told me about.
Yeah, I swear everything. I love pharmacists. I was so upset at myself at that day. I thought it was the best day ever to come on and just watch you work.
and I want you to know he told me the story, and I've been rooting for you too.
Yo, when I say she got Allende triggered, it was so funny. But shout out to you. But I will drop a link for you only if you want to come on in, and definitely for Nixon. So let me know if you come on and engage with the conversation so you have another perspective on it, and let me know. But go ahead, Mika. Sorry about that, because like I wouldn't have never expected her to come on, so I appreciate her. Shout out to her.
What was he saying?
We can go back and rewind just a bit.
Oh no, I got it. He was talking.
He was saying them 304s
being
the church crews, and then
being with Tyrone the night before.
Forgive me.
But here's the thing.
Big Jesus, I was bad. I wasn't bad. But if you could just forgive me for that one, then I won't do it again until next weekend. And then
God forgive me for going to Tyrone house. I know what he does. I know what he does to me, Lord. He leads me away from you. Rebuke Tyrone.
If loving you is wrong, then I don't want to be right.
But that comes back to that justification crap I'll be talking about.
Like I was saying, guys,
this one is only okay for you.
What I was trying to say was that, again, I feel like so many of these conversations only talk about the women being like that when all these men in church are damn hoe bags.
But the men aren't begging for forgiveness from sleeping with.
Yes, they are.
Becky.
They're justifying begging for forgiveness.
I never was.
They're saying and the worst part is I know guys that like literally they'll take a girl out, rail her and her friend, and say, "But I treated her good, just like God would want me to."
Okay, that's saying what God would want me to. But as far as like, I think the people that really get into church, and it's back to what Primal said before, because in my experience, like I said, all our experiences are anecdotal, right? Mm-hmm. But in the different states that I live in, different people that I met, different religious people that I've met, you don't meet too many guys. See, women will go to the club the night before, twerking, all that, go to Tyrone crib, let him knock that off, and she'll be in church Sunday in that same dress she was wearing at the club.
You guys are talking about it.
Wait,
like
wait, 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 wait,
No,
wait.
because here we go again. You guys
No,
only talk about it like it's only
But this
women.
is
I'm
back
stop
to
it
this
because
is back to his point. Let me explain. Let me
Yes.
explain. So the guys you tend to meet in church, now don't get me wrong, they're not out there in the open with it. I'll say this about guys out there in church. They're able to compartmentalize the two, right? So don't get me wrong. Everybody that go to church ain't a saint. So yeah, he might have his dirt, but he not in the club. Yeah, like the dudes that go to church that's
Really?
really into the church.
really, you want to
Dudes that-
tell me? You want to straight up
Listen,
tell
wait,
me that
wait,
the dudes
wait.
are in the church? They're not in the club. They're
Wait,
not being
wait,
ratchet. They're not
wait.
posting on their story.
Dudes in the church, not as listen, it's not as profound. I'm telling you, but that don't mean they don't have their dirt, and some of their dirts be fucking bad.
I
And I knew a dude
completely
that used to go to church
disagree
all the
with
time.
this. I
Hear me
completely
out. Hear me out.
I've been
I knew a
hearing
guy that
you
used to go to
out.
church. I heard a guy. I knew a guy that used to go to church all the time. Right? He's a perfect example of this. When they do have their shit, they stuff be bad, right? Because it was one dude he was messing with underage girls, messing with a 17-year-old. He was up at church every Sunday, all this other stuff like that with the kids and all that. And then he ended up, my man had the ankle bracelet. He came to work one day with the ankle bracelet on. And I was like, yo,
Shout out to the ankle bracelet.
and it's always them types. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. You don't find your everyday casual, like everyday dude going to church, like them dudes that's in the church hiding. They in there begging for forgiveness because they know they got some, like back to what Primal said about people trying to guide them, because people have some vices and stuff, and then they try to go to church to kind of like guide them away from their vices. You know what I'm saying? But it always comes out, because if that's a part of you and that's a flaw that's when you, it's always going to come out. And I feel like with men, that's what happens more often than not. It's like they don't do a bunch of stuff every day, but they have that one thing where you looking at them like, my man, why are you in church, man? Because I know something's off about you, son. Something's really off. And then you always find that there's some crazy nonsense. Anecdotal experience. But I don't see Tyrone in the club clipping Chantel and Alizé and all of them and then going to the church on Sunday. I don't see too many of that.
Oh, sorry.
The men are sneaky with it. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, she's waiting on you to finish so she get her rebuttal.
I'm done.
No, it's no point in arguing because it's what you guys.
I want to hear
saying
your
is
side of it. I just want to finish my anecdotal piece. What I've seen in my life.
And I get it.
Shout out to Kay. Kay said men are sneaky with it too, laughing out loud. I agree. It's both. Black Silver says hypocrisy. Yeah,
absolutely.
A lot of hypocrisy on both sides.
I looked it up real quick, and this was just a super quick Google search, but 25 to 65, women outnumber men in church 2-1.
Oh, that's funny you said that, because according to like I said, I was time stamping most of it. You said women outnumber men in church. So I think
2-1.
said this. Yeah, they said the same thing there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a quick Google search, and it was there's 2-1 women, in church compared to men in that 25 to like 65 demographic.
Okay, I agree with that. If anybody don't have anything else to chime in on,
Minka, please say your piece. Come on, I just wanted to finish what I was saying. Please.
the man just came back from helping out.
Don't be putting that on me. That's not going to work here. No, absolutely not. And that's exactly what I'm referring to. In this, I'm so overwhelmed with like, guys are this, guys are this, guys are this. They're only good. The majority of them are great. The majority of them are wonderful. I'm a female. I live this life. I've seen these guys, and like, especially in church, being not just hypocrites, but being very blatant with it. I just went to a thing, and like, I bought myself an engagement ring, right? It's in my middle finger. The dude is talking to me, and this is a business convention. And he's like, am I sitting here talking to a married woman? I'm like, no, it's an engagement ring. Because it's like, you guys don't ever have to experience anything like that. And so to say that women are like this, the majority of women that go to church, that's the issue that I have with it, because the way that it's talked about here and in that video is, this is how women are. That's the issue I have with it. And that's not how women are. That is how some women are. Absolutely. I'm not saying that they're not 304s there chilling and being hoey and then being like, God, forgive me for Tyrone. Absolutely. But I'm saying that it's also men. And that's the part where it's like, I just have a hard time with it when it's just met over and over again. Like, nope, guys are saints. Guys are wonderful. Guys don't do that.
Can I say something real quick?
And I'm being extreme here, just so I'm clarifying that I am
Oh
also.
no, we know.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I'm putting up the church finger. All right. Anybody don't know that? That's a church finger when you're walking in, walking out, and trying to get your piece in. I will say this to number one, Deuce did say it's anecdotal. I get the point you're making. But in here and out there, we're giving a different perspective and an anecdotal opinion of our experiences. So I just want to point that one out.
Right. But I also want to point out that there's only one female here. So it's
not no
difficult.
more. Welcome, Miss Pharmacy.
Welcome to the Great Pill Podcast.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Hi.
Hey, just bring another one up here just for I gotta say shit for giggles.
Another male?
Well, hold on. Let me time. When I number one, respect to you, Nixon. But thank you for being here. But I gotta give the ultimate praise to Miss Pharmacy. And
oh, you're so sweet. Why you say that?
Now, damn that, because you hold your own, girl. And I know, because like I wish I was there, and you would have had a moment to I can introduce myself with Duke and Dawn, and I saw you in the lead attorney, and I know you and Poppy have like a good kind of correlation relationship through the whole YouTube street. Yeah. So that's my boy, that's my brother. So when Mika make the comment just a second ago, say, hey, just one female. Trust me when I say Miss Pharmacy can hold her own. If it were just 10 dudes in here and it was just y'all two.
On a good day.
On a good day.
I got you, girl. We're gonna be sisters, though. So
I appreciate it.
Mess it up.
You guys gotta understand. Like for the most part, if you guys notice, like all the different topics, especially when it comes to things that men have gone through because of shitty women, I'm all for it. I defend you guys. I'm like that absolutely happens. I know women are like that. But there's so many times, and I think I've just had enough of these conversations without getting upset to a certain degree of like, this can't continue of all women. It just can't, because it's not what it is. And then because this is the pill community, it feeds that negative connotation. And we're the gray pill. We're supposed to be in the middle. We're supposed to be gender neutral, where we can see both sides so that we can understand how everyone got to this. Well, that's what I'm expressing. Wasn't feeling like that in that conversation.
Yeah, but remember again, and I'm gonna repeat it a third time. He said anecdotal, and we going by our own experiences. I never said, except for the part when Robin and Liz came in, I pretty much said, "Hey, my opinion." Again, Primal said his opinion more than once. Me and Deuce said we kind of agreed to that level of it, but we have our own little tilt to it. You know what I'm saying? And 100% everything that me, Robin, and listen, I'm all for with them. Hey, there's a higher being. You can call Jesus God. You can call Mr. Captain Peanut your Lord and Savior. But long as it's pretty much a positive and come down to love and respect. That's all I care about at the end of the day. And
right.
And you know me to the point, and I'm not saying now you can, and it's cool. I'm all about judgmental, but you know me to the point where I'm so effing vanilla. Long as you, and this is my take on the love and respect part. You can disrespect me. But if you come around later and with a heartfelt sincerity and apologize and show with some actions behind it, we're good. That's just me. But know that I learned my lesson with you though. But we're still good after that. So that's just pretty much me. So I do feel here in the Gray Pill community, we are giving those different perspectives. It's not like it's really not black and white. It's hey, everybody got opinions here. The hell, we got Nixon here from another country, Deuce here from God bless him. That's my brother. Serving another country out there doing his thing. Primal, same thing, background, family, and all that good stuff. Pharmacy saying, she doing her. So there you go. Nixon, Miss Pharmacy, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm just coming on. But I guess y'all talking about dating church people and stuff like that.
Yeah, just within relation, just any religion that has any value inside of it. Take. What's your thoughts on it so far? Have you had experiences with religion or somebody try to force religion on you, or just coming up in the
Right.
dating game or married game, and hey, someone, hey, I'm an atheist. Well, not me. I'm a Catholic. Or hey, I'm a Baptist. Well, not me. I'm a Judas. I don't know.
Right. I mean, I've definitely dealt with men, especially being in the Bible Belt. I'm in the low country area where religion is a big thing. Men tend to use religion as a tool of manipulation. So that's especially if you're in the church, and a lot of Southern women, we do believe if you want that good man, the church is where you go. But I do have to say, it kind of makes it the worst place because, since we're talking about the Bible, when in Revelations 3:15 through 16 verse, God like hot cold, but he will spit out the lukewarm. And those are the worst type of men. They're not hot in their religion. They're not cold. They're lukewarm. And even Jesus says that they have to be spewed out. So to me, those are the worst men to deal with because they use religion as a tool of manipulation, even to get sex. So, yeah.
And that's why I was saying, and that was my point earlier about like the guys you run into in church, they're like to a whole crazy extreme.
Yes.
Like, they got some real serious stuff going on, right? Those where you get the real like domestic abusers. That's where you get like the dudes that got some weird sexual kinks, or they into something crazy.
Oh yeah, they are the freakiest. Yes.
Yeah, so that's
I
where
wouldn't know if I heard. Yeah.
So that's why you be looking, yo, my man go to church every Sunday. He was like that. And you'd be like, yo, that's crazy.
What about you, Nixon?
Well, I come at this from an actual experience of having actually dated someone who was religious, and ultimately that's what ended our relationship because she chose her religion over me. Which, in hindsight, I think Black Pill said it in the chat. Like it's probably Black Silver said it in the chat. It's probably better for the long run, which I agree definitely. But at first, it didn't come into that. I never saw it from a point of, and she came from Islam, mind you, whereas my background is Orthodox. Even though I'm non-practicing, I'd probably consider me an atheist in a way. Like I just don't believe.
Do you mind explaining what the Orthodox is? Because I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Eastern European Orthodoxy, like Greek Orthodox, Russian Orthodox, that sort of a thing. So it's like a form of Christianity. That's what my area sort of like goes in there. And basically, I never came from it from a point of religion. Like I didn't really care because again, I don't look at what your religion is. I look at what you're like as a person. And she was like lovely. Like if I had to, like if it wasn't for the whole religion aspect, we probably might still be together today. Some 2-3 years since the breakup. But in saying that, still, like it was an experience. Let me put it that way. I now know what to look for. But ultimately, it came down to her having her religion be more important than someone who she actually enjoyed spending time with and being with, right? So it's like another question in the chat before. Do you pick your religion or do you pick your potential partner for the long run? Now, she chose either, but I did have a theory about this. I've mentioned it on a previous stream. I'm not sure if Primer was in that one as well, where we're talking about how like we broke up, we still hung out because we still had the same group of friends. That's one thing when you break up after knowing same people, you sort of like see each other every now and again. But eventually the COVID kicked in and, lockdown, and it just drifted apart eventually and just done and dusted that way. But seeing other people, it was like awkward at first, but you still had a bit of a laugh. But eventually once you drift, and then from that drift, she sort of started to take on being friendly with another dude who was ultimately trying to undermine me throughout the whole relationship, saying we're not compatible, we're from two different worlds, you're religious, he isn't. What are your parents going to say? Are you going to drop your religion for him? Is he going to convert for you, etc., which was never going to be the case. I said from the start, I said, you can do your thing, but don't think I'm going to change for you. I don't want you to change for me. But by definition, she's not allowed to change her part of the or what we consider the deal when it comes to religion. So I'm like, cool, whatever, like let it be. But now if she's still with him, with the same dude who is a few years younger than me, he's also non-religious, but because he's born a Muslim in a Muslim country, that sort of like qualifies him, if that makes sense.
And that's crazy. That's literally what somebody said on the Love is Blind season 2, what I was talking about before, and that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, I feel like oftentimes, at least what I've seen, religion acts as more of a barrier than it does a bringing together of relationships.
Yeah, it's not unifying. It's really not unifying. If you're saying unity, unity to me is like a positive thing. Like it's a flow, left and right, up, down, left and right. It's a nice full flowing circle. I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, it's more of a disqualifier for a lot of these people. It's like, oh, well, you're not religious enough, or you're not the right religion, or insert whatever phrase you want into there. But something about it, what I've just seen, and this is just my anecdotal experiences, I've seen it cause more division or breakups than I have bringing togethers.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what happened with me, and eventually that's what it was.
What'd you say?
That's a good thing. I mean, because when you want the right person in your life for a period of time, then you want to go ahead and, knock out all of the people that not going to mean you well, or that's just not supposed to be in your life. So I'm trying to think of the proper term. I mean, but that's a good, it negates the people that's not supposed to be there. So that's a good thing. And it's quick too. I mean, because there are certain, people I probably wouldn't want to date if religion was an issue. Then that's right out the gate instead of going down that road for the inevitable,
See, here's the thing as well. Sorry if I can just jump in. I didn't know what her background was at first. I thought she was a Christian Iraqi, but she wasn't. She was Muslim Iraqi. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, and I found out, the Christians versus Muslims, that's a long story altogether. There's a reason why the Arabs have wars amongst themselves. But even I didn't think of it that way. And then apparently one of her friends, who I was also friends with, said to her, hang on a second, have you discussed this? She goes, no, I don't want to. I don't want to think about it. I want to talk about it, because she was too, I don't want to say infatuated, because it sounds like I'm talking out of my ass, but like she was too into me at the time to actually contemplate and think about, okay, what are the potential barriers or things we might think about 6 months down the track if this goes on, 12 months down the track, what happens then? So it was just that she was so into what we had at the time, it just completely just went off her head. Mind you, the whole time, she was 26 or 27, I would have been 28. She is also, or potentially still is, a virgin, which again, I didn't know from the time. Now let me tell you this, just because she's a virgin, that doesn't mean she had a little demon time in her in its own right. Okay, I'll just put, and she brought it out on me first. I didn't bring it out on her. She brought it out on me. So there is some frustrations in there, but that was all down to her religious aspect, which I was like, cool, no worries. That's what you want to do. That's fine. I can live with that. We're together. We have a good time. We hang out. We still, demon time one another, if we want to give it that word. And It was all good and well. But effectively, that's what it came down to. It's, you're not going to convert for me. I'm not going to change, which I never asked her to. But it looks like she found someone who was compatible enough for her own liking, more so just to be someone who is not, 30 years old and unmarried, because her younger sister is in an arranged marriage. Her older sister was in an arranged marriage and had 2 or 3 kids, and she didn't want to be put in that situation where she wanted to be in an arranged marriage as well. So that probably played into her moves, and getting close to 30 as well, still being unmarried, no kids. I think that sort of like played a little part in her ultimate decisions.
Okay, shout out to that. Black Silver is pretty much agreeing with what you said. Damn, bro. Same story with my friend. A Muslim girl wouldn't want to give it to him because of him frustrations.
Yeah, like I was never for it. Like if I was fine if we never really got it on. I get that. I get that aspect. I was cool with it. I had no problems with it. But it's more so that but Uncle Guns, I didn't vet her. I committed. I was 27, 28 back then. It's not like I really wanted to go into it. We were just hanging out, having fun. It's not until 3 or 4 months later down the track where we actually said, yeah, this is actually working out quite nicely. Let's get together in a way. And again, you don't think it was a learning curve, 100%. It was definitely a learning curve. It's something that I probably should have looked at, but they say, the older you get, the more you learn. So now I know what to look out for in certain things. Now I know if someone is religious, I'm going to think to myself, okay, I remember how that played out last time. I don't want to mess that up again this time. So I'm going to be a little bit more cautious with it. But for the meantime, I'm not doing anything of that sort of stuff. But yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have done a bit more work on there, but it was never brought up because I never thought about it. I never looked at it that way. But some 3-4 years later, new people have opened up my mind. I've learned some new things from ladies and other men. and you just have a new way of looking at things now. So you should be, in theory, progressing and gaining new knowledge and sort of like knowing what to look out for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this as, I guess it's a jab, so just cause Uncle Gun says, so you didn't vet her and you committed?
Hey, but I did a similar thing in high school too, right? I dated this uber religious girl, and we did some things, but we didn't do all the things that I would have liked to have done. But I stayed with her for a length of time, and I mean, that was you live, you learn, you move on, right? And that's what it is.
It also comes right, I don't know, like exposure, right? Because this is how you end up getting exposed to other cultures and other religions. My background is a little bit unique because I come from a dual religious household. My father's Muslim and my mother's Christian, so I understand. So like I get it. So because I've dated Islamic women, and I've also dated Christian women. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out
I
to you.
understand the culture.
Shout out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had an issue when I came back from Afghanistan because I had a Quran in my bag, and you couldn't. They was like, they wouldn't let me take it. Like, it was like, they was like, hey, nah, you can't take like war trophies. And I was like, it's not a war trophy. This is my Quran. Like, if you look at it, my dad gave it to me. It is an English translation. It's like,
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure nobody in Afghanistan has an English translation Quran.
That sucks when you gotta explain everything to everybody now. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man, they confiscated my lighter. They tried to confiscate my Quran. I was like, nah, you can take the lighter. Give me my Quran. Understanding the culture, but it's very, and I would say this, man, like definitely date somebody of another culture that comes from another religious background, because I would say this, actually being friends with like Muslim people and stuff like that, they're some of the most dutiful and peaceful people in the world.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like it's just different having a conversation with them, and everything with them is seen through like the lens of their religion, of God, of being peaceful. So this is why, like, when everything that's going on in the world in the last 20 years has kind of painted them in a bad light. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like these one or two bad actors can make an entire religion look bad, and it's like actually they're really some of the most peaceful people and loving, giving people, because they really don't care what your culture is.
And let's keep it 100. If you look hard enough at any religion, there's some skeletons in those closets. There's some things that were done in the name of religion that were pretty bad. I mean, let's not act like things like the Crusades didn't happen, but everybody's like, yeah, Christianity is great. But like, there's skeletons in every closet. So no religion is perfect. And my take on it is, religion was something that was created by man to try to translate a divine message. And there's some things that got lost in the mix. It had to be like. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead.
Yeah,
if I got something real quick before I go to the clip.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say one more thing. I was gonna bounce out.
Okay.
Yeah. So, the other thing is as well. Yeah, like, and if I can just say, I don't want to say all the ladies, but out of most of the ladies I've been with, like, she was the one Muslim female I'd been with, and hands down, the most respectful, the most feminine, the most well-spoken, the most, well-addressed, female I'd ever been with. And I think it comes from their culture that they want to sort of like cater to their man or the man that they're with or whatever, because even at home, like, her mother would cater to her dad and he would do things for her. It wasn't like, get me this and she'll grab it for him. It was just a very respectful way. And every time I went over as a friend, because I was always just the friend in amongst the group with other people there as well. I was never there one-on-one. Very respectful. Dad used to have conversations with me. He used to look a little bit like Lawrence Fishburne. I used to call him, what's his name from The Matrix? Morpheus. I used to call him Morpheus as a joke. Yeah, I used to call him Morpheus as a joke, and we used to have a bit of a laugh like that. But yeah, feminine, dutiful, like hands down, like, fantastic. So yeah, do date other cultures, but be mindful if you're going to get involved in them, actually know what you're getting involved in, or potentially first, before you, like me, commit and then shit ends up not working for you. So that's all I got to say.
Okay, I appreciate that, bro.
Peace out, everybody. And one more thing.
Bro.
Yes, sir.
Minka, how was Outback?
Outback?
Did you get Outback last
week? Steakhouse.
Oh,
yes.
Look at her face. Something's up. All right, I'm gonna head out. See you later, everybody.
I appreciate you, man. All right, let me hit this clip real quick before we have any other thoughts.
For the streets, are they? How old are these women? Are they younger women? Are they older women? Like,
well, I've heard a couple different things. I've heard a lot of like single mothers go to the church and they become like born again virgins. Basically,
right. Yeah.
I've in the church I was involved in.
What is
It's
that?
like when you re-virginize.
Do they do an operation to put your hymen back, or like what's that?
It's like I mean, it doesn't really make sense.
I'd like to.
Look, it doesn't. It's just basically like where the girls regret the guys they slept with before, and then they want to make the new guy wait for marriage for the girl, basically.
Yeah.
And I've seen girls that this like worked for actually. Like, like there were girls that in my church, like from home. I wouldn't say they were like 3-0, like super, you know, but
yeah.
But I've also seen girls like still single and they're like mid-30s, you know, because they're waiting.
Yeah.
So,
And do you know what's so funny? It's very interesting you say that, because there's such a high concentration of women in the church, right? And there's not such a high concentration of men in the church. The men that are in the church generally are probably married, probably
really good men, like
probably good men, but so they get snapped up quite quick by these women. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, so then what happens is, as let's say in my situation, which is I've heard it a lot of the time, the pastor will say, obviously, the man is not in the church that you're seeing, because they have to go outside of the church to get a man, because there's none in the church generally. So when you go outside, that means you're not getting a church guy. They tell the pastor, and the pastor says, "Oh, he's not of the same two people of the same yoke," or whatever the Bible verse is, right? You're not equally yoked, or whatever it was. And so the pastor basically puts, you know, a no and says, "No, you can't do that." And it's like, wow, can you imagine having like someone having that much control over your life?
That happened to me. That with my last boyfriend.
No
like
way.
I because he wasn't, because okay, when I got baptized, they like told me, because I grew up Catholic and then I like switched to a Christian church.
Right.
And but then like they have to have you rebaptized, even though I don't know. But I was like, okay.
So you're a born again virgin?
No, well, no, I wasn't. no, but I don't. That's not real. Like, yeah, like. But my last boyfriend wasn't part of the church, but it was like one girl to every 3 guys.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what else am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to fight over the like 5 beta guys here.
That's another thing, right?
Like,
church guys are soft.
Oh my god.
Women find church guys quite soft.
Yeah.
Would you say that's true?
Yeah.
Now I'm triggered. That's bull crap. Do y'all women agree to that before I get my little tangent on?
I think for the most part, they're a little flamboyant.
Okay.
The majority that I've met.
Pharmacy,
have been.
because I know pharmacy is pretty much in the southern region.
I hope it's different there.
You know about the church.
What aspect of that? I mean, women, we do like to pull out revirginization. Yeah, we like to pull that. I like to pull that too every now and then. So
I like to pull it as a joke. I'm like, I'm a born again virgin, guys.
What about because like this is my thing on the guy side, because he said, because first of all, let me throw my mug here, because she got me triggered on that one. Plus her friend. Pearly things, get out more, like real talk. Because if you come here in the South End, and I'm talking about the country South with the sticks, the churchmen that I know, and I got cousins like over 6 feet tall, big broly guys, drive the trucks, drink straight moonshine. They go to church every Sunday.
Oh,
But at the
really?
same time, just like the opposite of what the point Mika was trying to make, they'll send the crap if you even just say something to trigger them and make their eyebrow raise up. You know what I'm saying?
But are they single?
Yeah.
They're
Exactly.
I can only-
There
I can
are
only-
no church chads.
I can only talk. Yeah, and I can talk only for LA, and it's been most, if not all of the men that I've met that are church goers and single are flamboyant. Even the guy that hit on me over there, he was from LA. He's like, I love shopping. And I'm like,
he was like, so let's do some
real retail
therapy.
Because that was
yes. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
I want to
find me a church Chad, and I'll give you $100.
Yeah, because I wanted to get that out of the way because I know.
No, wait, hold on. They out there. Listen, they just came from jail, so they out there. The church Chads is out there.
Yeah,
they just came from jail.
Yeah, but that's fine. But let's target the
born again virgins.
Let's just
no. Church Chad just came from jail. So you know what I'm saying? Some walking in with a 6-pack.
Hey, let's keep talking. Come over.
Samuels. But no, I just want to pinpoint this one right here because that was really anecdotal and ignorant for that guy to say, and then try to get it on Pearly Things, and she's agreeing with you. Yeah, no, get out the door, start hanging out more in other spaces instead of your little tight knit area. Every man is not soft that go to church. Every man isn't, so-called wimp, because I'm a firm believer. Don't let this 3-piece suit fool you. And that's a saying. All right. So I know a lot of guys is like, well, don't care about a 3-piece suit. Don't care about how they're presenting themselves in a church. Because if you test them the wrong way, just because they got the family and friends around them, they'll come a little bit ignorant too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Listen, let's walk in the gray a little bit. Let's walk in the gray a
cool.
little bit here.
Let's go.
The dudes that wasn't always in the church. You get a dude that was always in the church.
They didn't say that though.
Listen.
But that's what the context is.
The context is the guy that's always in the church and he was raised up there, always been there. He not built like that. Your cousins, us, we start going back to church again. We was in the streets before. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that break. Because it's that break that people have where they was raised in the church, but then they fell away from the church at 17, and then they come back in their 30s. Yo, listen, them 15 years are transformative.
And
you know what that man did in them 15 years.
And you know why I don't think there's really any church Chads? Because church for men tells you how to live your life. Chads don't let men or other people tell them how to live their life.
Who mic is that? It's like a buzz real quick. Pharmacy, do you have something to say real quick? I want to make sure everybody get their thoughts across.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Okay.
I almost said something, but I'll wait for that.
Wait, no, you gotta tell us if there's any Chads in your area.
Yo, Primer, why you lifted the pinky like that?
That's because I'm fancy. Because I'm fancy.
So okay. So Primer, you're saying that real men don't allow the church to tell them how to live their life, or what were you saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the quote unquote Chads, they don't really enjoy authority figures. Church is like an ultimate authority figure. Chads want to be the authority figure. So yeah, you may find some out there in the world, but that's not the common thing.
Okay. I just thought it was something else. Okay, I'm cool.
Yeah.
So are you going to let me know if there's Chads that go to church in your hood?
Talking to me?
No.
But that are also single. They need to be
that
single.
Are also single. They have to be single. I can't.
Yeah,
I don't do that.
Because I can rock with. There's very alpha men that are in long-term relationships or are married that go to church. I see that plenty. But single dudes that are out there just chatting it up, I don't see that. And that's just my anecdotal.
Can we clarify real quick since we're bringing up the Chads? What is everybody's definition of a Chad?
Alpha, a bro.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. The face that you make, that's confirmation where I need to get defined.
So I know that that's what you guys mean. Chad for me and my general vicinity in the area I'm in is a douchebag.
All right.
Not an alpha at all.
I agree with that.
A wannabe alpha. We'll call him.
We can call him Chester.
No, that's.
We can call him Tyrone.
Hey,
Yes, we
Primer
can call them
haven't been
Tyrone.
wrong with me so far, so we're gonna go with it.
The Tyrones of church.
Okay, Tyrone's of church. That's a good one too. The Tyrone's of church.
Yeah.
Poppy Blanco.
Hey, Poppy.
¿Cómo estás, mi negro?
What's your thoughts,
Yo,
bro?
how you doing? How you doing, family?
Doing good,
Está
man. What's your
bien, mi
thought?
amigo.
Bueno. Yeah, man, just getting home, man. Tired and I'm tired. I'm super tired.
And what else, Poppy?
Tired,
my
man.
Poppy,
And
get
so
off,
many
Poppy, get off the
camas.
panel, please. Get off the panel.
Thank you. Thank you. If he ain't contributing, he got to go like Fresh and Fit.
Oh. Hey, leave my puppy alone. He's tired. He's a father.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell him like
Going
Myron,
through-
if you're not contributing and you're not adding value to the show, you gotta go.
All right, this conversation is over then. I'm out.
Oh, baby.
Defend yourself, brother.
Oh, baby.
Hey, yo, you like how both Poppy and I are both sensitive today?
I ain't feeling the love tonight.
Poppy, I got your back, Poppy. I got
Poppy,
your
I
back.
love you, brother. You're my brother
I've
from
been-
another mother. I miss you.
Yo está aquí para ti.
Yeah, thank
See
you,
that?
Primo. Thank you, man. You've been treated like a stepchild over here.
If anything, I'm treated like a stepchild, and nobody told me I love you, Mika. We got you, Mika.
That's a goddamn lie.
Yeah, I'm super tired, man. I'm talking about church today, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
the day
religion and
before
the
Sunday.
relationships. So what's your thoughts on it, bro? Do you believe in your relationship, or what thoughts on that? And Princess K said start laughing and she said I love you, Mika.
Well, I do believe in God, yo. So I read my Bible. Not as much as I'm supposed to read it, but especially when I'm down, I always read my Bible. Church. Church is nothing but a business today, man. It's like they're near criminal to go to church nowadays.
Okay.
I remember when I was little, I used to fight with my mom to go because I didn't want her to go to church for the simple fact that they rob you over there, bro. Like that. That's just the way I'm gonna put it. They force these people to, like, how much it is? 10% of your paycheck, right? Of your
Yeah.
monthly.
Yeah.
Yo, and the people that go to church, all of them are poor people. Like, how can these people get away with it? And me and my mom used to fight every Sunday about that because that 10% could have come to me at least. I wanted it to buy my shoes or something.
Yeah, but that's it. But isn't that adding more blessings to your Lord and Savior to help increase their value?
Nah,
That's
bruh,
that's what it was told.
man.
Princess.
Yeah, that's some bull, bro. People was really, really serious about spreading the word of God, man. They can all goddamn go to Oriole night to a park or something, and he can just the pastor can talk his talk right there for like an hour or 2 hours, bro. Real somebody bring some lemonade, let's get it going.
Oh Lord.
But the reason why they always tell you they're trying to get a building is because so they can rob people blindly. Pastors always be collecting the thing, and the church never changed. The church be the same for 40 years. Then even add a new window or nothing, right?
So what's your opinion? So what's your opinion how it should change though? Like since you're saying take 10% out, so you're saying don't go to church, keep your 10% and stay home and pray?
Go to a free church.
Well, man. I mean, it's like let me tell you like this, man. It's maybe out of 10 churches out there, it's maybe one church probably that might be like real good. You see what I'm saying? The rest, bunch of robbery going on, yo. Until, like I said, my mom, I used to fight with my mom all the time, and until I actually finally saw the lying stop because he's straight up robbery. And now I haven't been in church for the past, let me see, maybe 5 years, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I usually go like once or twice. I go like twice twice per year to see how it's going in there. Man, that thing, that church is horrible, bro. Yeah, because my friend dragged me with there like 4 or 5 years ago, and we went to this church Pilgrim Rest around the area where I live. It's a huge church, man. It's like they putting like 3,000 people in there, athletes and people going there. Yo, out of the 3,000 people in there, 2,000, I want to say 2,200 be women, single women, baby mamas. Yo, stress up, man. They be out on Friday night, Saturday night, doing all kind of crazy stuff, and they over there on Sundays trying to catch the Holy Ghost. Like, and it's a business, man, because them people, he just want to collect he just want that collection money, bro. He don't care about the community. He just worried about that bread. That's it. I found out that the pastor at the church that I went a couple of times, he gets around the helicopter. How is that fair, yo? And like 97% of the people at his church, they broke as hell.
Well, think about what church used to be. Yeah. I was going to say, back in the day, I think the big thing about church was that not everybody, like way back in the day, only certain people could read. Only like nobility and the clergy could read. That was the time where the actual organized church was important. But at least in America now, everybody can read and anybody can go get a Bible or Quran or whatever. Like, it's kind of become, it's almost, I hate to say it like this, but modern churches are kind of a grift.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, but there's good and bad in every, quote unquote business. So, I mean, I think when we hear about churches and whenever any kind of job, even like with nonprofits or whatever, which a church is, but whenever you talk about serving people, there is an expectation, human expectation that it should be free. And nothing in this world is free, even if you're serving people. If you have to be freed up to serve people, then money has to be funneled through and, made into like a business so people can survive and live, because that's what we're here to do, is to work and to survive. So I think we kind of give it a bad rap, but there are definitely a lot of bad apples in a bunch when it comes to churches, but that's with anything in life. But like anything that's for free, serving people, we expect it to be free. So, but how's it supposed to get done if people don't get paid? It's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where, and just to add on to that one, I think that's where they come up to nonprofit organizations, but it's kind of like, it's kind of hard to weed out even those, because let's say, for example, a lot of people used to donate their clothes to was it Salvation Army, but we come to find out the Salvation Army is not really using it what it's supposed to be meant for. They're taking it back, cleaning and selling it and getting a profit off of that.
Okay, so this is what you have to understand about that too, right? Now it's a difference between people lining their pockets, and it's a difference between people like needing funds just to operate, right? So like, are they using the funds to operate? Because guess what? If they need repairs and stuff like that, ain't no plumber coming to the church and doing it for free. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no locksmith coming and putting new locks on the church.
If you're down for the Lord,
it ain't happening, player. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not happening.
I tried.
Actually, dudes, I seen the pastor telling all
lights,
the
electricity,
electricians at church gonna do it for free.
But even Jesus say to pay taxes. So even God believes in money, and the money you need money to flow. The money is energy.
What?
That's the man.
Not the God.
Yeah, the God believe in money. Yeah, he made the man to make the money. Yeah.
Yep. I think it's just at a certain extent from what we've all seen. Like Poppy mentioned, the guy the pastor from his church was riding around in a helicopter when most of your congregation is dirt broke. That's off. I think that's wherein lies the issue, because we all know churches cost money to run. They also utilize that money to donate. They also utilize that money to feed the homeless, all sorts of things. But there are a lot of them, too many to like just keep a blind eye towards, that take advantage of that. Like, there was a pastor, a really big pastor, reverend guy that had like, he had gifted his wife a Ferrari. That was like, do you remember that?
TD Jakes.
Oh yeah, it was his wife's name is Venture, because he cheated on her for the millionth time. So he gave her that Lamborghini or Ferrari to, as a shut up and let me keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, let me be that alpha I can be, the best alpha I can be.
But that's the issue. So when stuff like that happens, like, what? God talks about humility. The hell you doing giving your wife a Ferrari? It
That
wasn't
man's
a
a
Ferrari,
church
it was
Chad.
a Lambo.
That man is a church Chad. That's a church Chad right there.
He was trying to save his marriage.
It was crazy when my son. It was crazy
church Chad.
when the pastor needed the jet. Remember the pastor was trying to get everybody to pay the tithes for the jet.
Oh, that was terrible. That was
he
terrible.
needed the Gulfstream. Remember that craziness?
what?
That was the Crystal Dollar, right? Crystal Dollar.
Creflo Dollar, yeah. He was like he needed to spread the word of God expeditiously.
Oh, wow.
Respect on that.
It was crazy.
Yeah, he's a clown, dog. Yo,
my mom's be on TD Jakes, but don't be wrong.
So far,
TD Jakes is like, don't be wrong. And this is the thing about religion, right? I may not take the person seriously, but a lot of them really do have a good message. And don't get me wrong, it does put you on a different path. And I think church is good just to reset on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Like Sundays, you listen to the word, hey, what was the gospel about today?
But Jason Michael Myers is like killing and doing all types of demon stuff for 90% of their life. Then they spit out some 10% facts. I'm not going to follow them.
First of all, most of the preachers that we see, especially in our community, back in the day, pimps used to go from being pimps to becoming preachers.
Why do you think they have all that gold and purple outfits?
But what's wrong with TD Jakes? I mean, I'm seriously asking, something wrong with him? What's wrong?
His background's a little.
He's a clown.
No.
But but even the Bible, Saul turned into Paul. So I mean, that's how usually religion goes. That's what the Bible is for, to show us, even at our worst, we can strive to be our best selves and go to heaven, right?
Yeah. No, listen, I like to do like I listen to the dude. My mom listens to him every Sunday. She don't go to church. She don't be donating no money, nothing. But he got like the broadcast on that Bible channel or whatever. So she be watching that on Sunday. So I'll be in the house and she be listening to it. And he said something about like being in the wilderness. And he was like, hey, listen, I used to be in the wilderness and now I'm not. And now you still in the wilderness and you want me to come be back in the wilderness with you. I can't be in the wilderness with you. My life is not like that no more. I'm not in the wild. I'm not in the jungles. And I just remember him saying that. And I was just like, so you'll put yourself in that place where like you came from something and now your life is taking you in a different direction and people are trying to pull you back. And I was just like, yo, that was a decent message. Okay, cool. I could listen to the dude's message without me actually liking him as a person. And that's the thing. I think
some people blindly follow. Like, it's not even about even religion no more. People still blindly follow just because like you get one little cool point and they'll run toward that person in a crowd just off of one good message and then swear it down. Everything else is they're good with. Like let's just say a healthy debate between you and Mika, right? And Mika got all the talking points down packed. You're triggered as hell and all this good stuff, but you have one good thing, and all the masses, like let's say earlier, piggyback on what Mika said, like all these guys do the same thing. So, and I'm just paraphrasing Mika, I'm not verbatim. So, and all the guys just like hit you in the back end of DMs. Yeah, bro, what you said to Mika, bro, that was cool. Okay, but 99.9% of the conversation, she was on point and she was keeping it honest, and it's all fact check. But because you got one little point off, it's like, yeah, let me run with you. That's crazy. Same thing with religion.
Because people can't separate the person from the message, right? Yeah, and that's the thing. So, and I come from this, right? Because I come from a community where, listen, the best. I was taught to see God in everything, right? Because the wisest advice you'll ever get is from a person that's down and out. right? So that wino on the corner, that the community drunk, the dude that's on the corner, the dude that got a habit, you know what I'm saying, that be out there fixing all the kids' bikes and stuff, and he be dropping jewels and game all day, but then my man go like all night, he doing his habit, but during the day, he in the community helping the kids, doing all that. You know what I'm saying? So people trying to invalidate people because all right, my man got a problem. He's a victim of his vices, right? He's a slave to his vices, but that don't mean the stuff that he's spitting ain't godly.
I agree.
So that's the thing. We don't. We have to realize, man, you can see God in there's God in everything. There's God in everybody. So just because everybody wants to see it, okay, you don't need to wear a 3-piece suit for me to hear wisdom in your words. You could be a drunk on a corner and you be like, hey man, I got something on my spirit. Hey, young blood, I got something on my spirit real quick. I'll tell you real quick. All right, let me hear what you got. Let me hear something, old timer. And they put you onto a real game. And let me tell you, when I was a kid, the main thing that people used to always say, hey man, be careful of women. They'll take you off of your path. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up with these girls. Don't be having babies young, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I had my son when I was 30 or 31. You know what I'm saying? If I would have had him 10 years earlier, my life would have went in a different direction. So, you know what I'm saying? So now, how many times you gonna tell me not to touch the stove? If everybody tell me not to touch the stove, I'm not gonna touch the stove.
Yo, how much of the joke the church is in today's day?
How much what?
I don't think it's a joke. I don't think it's a joke.
If
you go there for the word,
I'm gonna
go there for the word.
I will. Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yo, Angela,
Yeah.
play the react. I put a video in the chat real quick. Go ahead and play that video real quick.
Hold on, let me see what you gotta say though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I saw the video, you motherfucker. Sorry, I was actually more like Poppy, where it's like there's only one church around here that I go to, and every once in a while it's because I'm like I don't get what I need everywhere else, so I'm like feeling the hope and spirit, whatever, right? We have a joke there. I get bobbed on the head because I didn't do first communion, so I can't eat the bread. They're legit. Other than that, I have always said every single church, which has been actually many that I've gone to in Los Angeles, California, are very money hungry. And you can see the way they treat their people. You can see the way that they treat you if you're not able to provide something for them. You can see it in everything. And so that has deterred me away from church a lot because of that. But I also went to that convention this week. I'm not going to say all because I didn't meet every single person, but the majority of people that were there, and none of them are from California. None of them are from New York. None of them are from Miami. The majority of people there was a woman that's like wrote a book to teach gospel, and she's giving out free ones. And I'm like, oh, how much is it? She's like, no, it's always free. Anyone that ever wants one, I send it to them. There's also another organization that provides services for women to not have an abortion if the reason that they're having an abortion is because they cannot afford to have a child. I could go on and on and on with the different resources and the different programs and the different ministries that like actually give a fuck. Like, and you can see it because not just that, but you ask them where they're staying at the Ramada, at the Motel 6, at like, you know what I mean? And like when they talk about their family and their lives, it's not uppity. It's not like flamboyant. They're very humble. They're very down to earth. Not everyone's like that, but I'm just saying, just like I said earlier, we can't just have the discussion about how it's all one way, because the reality is if church did not work at a certain point or to a certain extent in giving back to its community, it wouldn't be as big as it is.
Yeah, it has it has a purpose.
There is a lot of corruption.
It is. Yeah. Like I said, people use the corruption to validate the message, the word. And like I'm saying, if you go there for the word, if you go there for a spiritual reset, if you go there to kind of put your life in perspective, that's what you're going there for. Yeah, I mean, you pay your tithes.
If you had asked me last week, I'd have been like, they're all trash.
No, there's good ones. They're just bad actors, right? But here's my take: is why have the middleman? Like, why do I need a middleman? I can just read it on my own.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And there is something to be.
But you got to have the mindset and awareness to do that, though.
Agreed.
You guys are very strong. We're talking about the people that everyone on this platform is very strong. We know ourselves. We
the
try
flesh
to be
is
good
weak.
people.
The flesh is weak.
But to the kind of people that we were just discussing, where they get manipulated and told, oh, don't date that guy because he's not a part of the same religious organization. Those are the people that are still lost. And those are the
Agreed.
people that when shit happens to them, they need someone to tell them it's going to be okay. They need that sermon. They need that service. They need that feeling of belonging somewhere. That's all it
I
comes down to.
agree. Yeah, I agree. The sad part is those ones are the same ones that get manipulated by the bad actors.
Of course.
Let me show this clip real quick. And
Poppy, you had me dying.
I seen
with
this.
one.
Hold on, before you better have a point to this too, Poppy, because I had to watch it in the back end because again, on our end, YouTube friendly, and I saw the first beginning of it, so I didn't want to show. I got to the end of what that just to get a point to what you're trying to make, but yeah, but you better have a point after this one.
You mofo.
But, just to say this to the viewers out there.
Yeah, just one subscription, one like, one follow. Hit the notification button. It'll help out us. Yeah, bring it on.
You gotta have a louder voice. In the name of Lord and Jesus
Oh
Christ.
no, you ain't at the right church, girl. We're black
Yeah,
folks.
exactly.
You got to bring it in.
Just
my
one
God.
subscription
You gotta say Lord at the
just,
end.
Just one God. You know how he do it. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
I gotta bring my cousin on because my cousin could do it so good. I promise you.
It
Yeah,
just made me
shout out
think
to
of
my
Coming
cousin.
to
church, I'm like,
you just
oh,
made me
yeah.
think of Coming to America. If loving the Lord is wrong, then I don't want to be right.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to my cousin because I really don't want to try to bother him because he actually has his TikTok and his own thing he's doing, and I like to let him shine his own. But I'm gonna bring him on one time just to give that little spiritual moment, and I promise you be like, yo, this is the perfect and pharmacy know what I'm talking. This is like the perfect black Southern four-wall Christian church Baptist church.
Yep.
Way in the sticks with that little effed up mic, with that rag in one hand, sweating all day when it's hot.
I call it a preacher rag. When I'm
Yes, he
sweating, I pull out
will.
the.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. I see you in the back. Subscriptions.
Hey, Mika, probably it's a black thing. I'm sorry.
No, as soon as you said I'm in the wrong church, I was like, I remembered it, and I was like, oh yeah, I can hear it now. Now I can hear it. Now I
Trust
can
me.
connect it.
You come over here, I bring you to one church. You be looking like you're gonna be so entertained though.
Oh
You're
no,
like,
I've been to them. They're very
There you go.
entertaining, but I've only been one time.
all right, let me play this the Poppy real quick because he was making a point to what we was talking about earlier.
There's no volume.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me roll it back a little bit because I don't want to get 1 second. Okay. Thank you about the volume.
Still can't hear it.
So again, it's a Yonkers. Oh shit.
Yeah, we still can't hear it. Can anyone hear it?
I don't even need to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to hear it, but what I know she Haitian or Jamaican, but she has a strong accent. Her voice's volume is low.
I
But
think she was Haitian, man.
yeah, okay. So the beginning of it was like she's saying in the wording is pretty much the getting the men's liquids from his wee wee out from him out her mouth that I guess she
Bro, you need to
swallowed.
figure out how to play this on loud because I just heard it and it's
This is hilarious.
The
yo.
music
This
is
what's
louder
going
than her
on in the
words.
church.
Oh, time out. The music is, if anybody pay attention, the music is louder than what she's speaking. And if anybody's been to real dinky churches, not saying they're dinky, but the churches where you only got them little weak mics, so she only could speak it so loud, so the volume is over her. So,
Yeah,
Poppy, what's the
the
point
guy.
of showing this? Huh?
What you say?
Yeah.
If you can, you can hear.
What you say? I ain't hear what you say.
What was the point of you displaying this video? Like, what point he was trying to represent for this?
They pointed the church, man. This is what they do over there. This man spread, man. It's better if you show the video, man, so people can understand what I'm talking about.
Well,
Yeah,
the
but you
value
have
is
to
my
explain
point.
it too, because again, we got viewers. That's why I'm asking the question. Because
Yeah,
most
what
people,
was your
you can
point?
show one thing and they'll give a different perspective. So you asked for the
My,
video to be showed.
but you didn't show it.
I'm not
So
showing all
obviously-
this, bro. I'm not showing all this. I'm just gonna be fair to the
He's like
channel.
2 minutes.
What's the, everybody can go to Poppy Blanco TV where he would just blow it up on his content, and
No,
he can do that.
I don't do church stuff over there. I do gangster
Okay,
shit.
all right. Well,
I do what shit?
Gangster.
He said what
Yeah,
he said.
but look,
the point he's making
look,
first,
you know
I
why-
don't know.
the reason why I wanted people to say that because that's exactly what's going on. in
Problem,
the
why you
churches,
cover your
at
face
least
like that?
80% of the churches. You see what I'm saying? It's pure dysfunction. They selling people a drink. That homegirl, like she's like the oral sex demons, trying to get the oral sex demon out of her. She was out there just licking wee all day long. All of a sudden, she went to church. She went to church, and the pastor. This is a joke, bro. This is a pure joke, and that's not the only church doing that thing. It's a lot of churches be doing that thing. I remember I saw a video. This lady, this big old lady, son, they roll her over there. The pastor cured her. She walked out of there. She walked out of there, man. The pastor touched her head, and she started walking. Like it's pure comedy, bro. It's like
No, okay, no. Those
it
are
should be
those revival churches that's along the Bible Belt and stuff like that, where they set up in tents and stuff like that, slapping people with jackets and stuff.
No. It was a real church. It was a real church.
He's not saying it's not a real church.
Not saying it's not a real church, but there's certain styles. There's certain styles of churches, and they call them back in the day. Used to call them snake oil salesmen and stuff like that. Listen, at the end of the day, right? Not like, and I'm not trying to say this to be like politically correct or anything, but you have a church in your community. They are providing a service. Don't get me wrong. Do they need money? Absolutely, because nothing can operate for free in the world. You know what I'm saying? They're providing a service. Now, there's some people that are outlandish with it. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Dudes like, because I don't understand how you healing all these people in this thing. And you can't go down to St. Jude's Hospital and heal all these little kids with cancer. I don't understand. You over here, boo, 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 I can walk again. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people be falling for the bullshit. But they call religion the opium of the masses, right? Because it was always a way of controlling people and to make people feel okay with their lot in life. You know what I'm saying? And those are the people that gravitate toward that. But if that's what those people need to survive, who am I to say?
Christianity was kind of forced into colored people. This is not our original. This is not our original
religion. Absolutely not. No. Absolutely
this
not.
was used to control the slave.
Absolutely, which is why I said when earlier you wasn't here them being on the podcast. I said me being in a relationship that I was and kind of getting into religion kind of put me on my spiritual path that I went on, which deviated from that. Because, like I said, my personal belief, I wasn't really gonna get into it, but I'll say it. My personal belief is Black people are not meant to be Christians. We're not.
No, we're not.
I agree with that.
It's not our natural
original religion.
Thanks for your contribution, Mika.
That's that 10%.
I don't think we. I mean, of course, we didn't start it off with Christianity, but if that's your choice, that's your choice. And I understand what you're saying, Poppy, that it's a slave religion per se, but they never used the whole Bible to control slaves. They only used snippets of it. And that's what the manipulation is, just using pieces of the truth and have your way. So
our people had a religion. So first of all, remember, so like when Primal brought up the Crusades and stuff like that, right? It's like in the Bible it says it's each individual Christian's responsibility to go out and spread the word, right? People took that to the extreme, which was to go, and this is where you get missionaries now. Now they're missionaries, but then you got people going to other countries and force converting people. and especially they go to third world countries. My friend made a good point about this one time, and he said the problem he has with missionaries and their mission is because you'll go to a hungry person and you'll say you won't give them a bowl of rice and say, hey, here's a bowl of rice, I'm gonna feed you, let's have a conversation. They're gonna say, hey, I'm only gonna give you this bowl of rice unless you convert. I won't give you this bowl of rice until you convert. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where forced religion comes in. That's the problem. We were forced into this religion. Now, don't get me wrong. That's why I believe in spirituality, right? I believe everybody has a spirituality. Black people, we are a spiritual people. We are like all color. We're super spiritual, right? We're attuned to the divine. However, whatever outlet you want to use to get there, because the divinity is a road, it's a destination. There's different roads to get there. Whether you want to use Christianity, whether you want to use Hinduism, whether you want to use Taoism, whether you want to use Islam, however you get to divinity is whatever road you want to take is your choice. But we are a very spiritual people, and that's why we always gravitate towards spirituality. Like it's something that's just undeniable. It's just a feeling.
Yeah, Black people, we are extremely religious. Like we don't play with God.
No, not religious, right? No, because a religion is just a set of rules within a religious context.
Yeah.
But spirituality is different between your spiritual. We all have this inherent belief in the divine. We all have it.
Okay, Uncle.
Now, whatever you choose.
Because of oppression. Anytime you're under oppression, you have to have some kind of baseline to look forward to because of hope. So just like the Jews, are, back with the Israelites, they were very religious, and that's why they got away from Pharaoh in the first place. They used their religion to go into the wilderness in the first place because they were very religious. So anytime when there's a group of people under oppression, it's always human nature to look to a higher being or have some kind of foundation with religion.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. So just to wrap things up, because we're at the 2-hour marker. So appreciate everybody again. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, all that stuff. It's a very good, entertaining and well-versed conversation. Again, like always, I can't say it with humility and much respect to Pharmacy to coming out. Let me ask you this, Pharmacy. Why'd you change your name?
Oh, because I wasn't talking about pharmacy.
Makes sense. All right, let me slap myself real quick. I gotta be fair about that one.
Emotional damage.
I just want to have more fun, and I'm single. I'm looking for someone, so I just want everyone to help me with my journey. So, and my friend, she's been married for like almost 30 years. Yeah, I got to put it out there, Poppy. She's been married, so I guess we can give women good pointers, right, Poppy?
Who girl on the loose around here?
Hey, you want to go to church? You want to go to church together? We could go find a Tyrone for each of us.
Girl, boo. Been there, done a lot of that. I'm good on that.
I'm joking.
Well, we can go to eat some of the
She's not looking for a Tyrone.
Yeah, not this time.
She's not looking for no Tyrone. She's looking for a rich
Wilbert.
A Willard.
A Richard.
Yeah, a Richard.
She probably go to church and get with the pastor.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, people do it. Do it all the way. Do it to the top.
I don't blame you.
But I appreciate y'all so much. This was a very interesting and different type of topic, but it was very mentally stimulating. So I appreciate y'all inviting me. I love this. This was really hot.
I would love to have you. We would love to have me. I'm selfish. I would love to have you back because I know everybody's a we, but I always love more women that are you hold your own, and I really appreciate that. And it's been really good to have you on the show.
Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, Pharmacy, stay on because we're gonna go backstage.
Please.
Okay, no problem.
We can't hear you, Angelus.
You're on Angelus. You're on mute, buddy.
Nope.
No audio.
Well, I would just like to thank everybody that's been on the chat showing support. We're here on Saturdays. We're going to be doing something here on Tuesday as well. And please hit that like and subscribe button. Also, this has been brought to you by Cialis.
What the hell?
Push the button. Push the button, Angelus.
Push the button.
He froze. He's done. He can't even
I
end
don't
the
have
stream.
Guys, I don't have access
What the hell
anymore.
is it?
This is gonna be the forever.
Take away my access.
Hey, I guess.
Yo, somebody screenshot his face right now.
Yeah, I guess while we have a few minutes to kill, I'm going to be doing a stream tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Time about the SEX toy industry.
Ooh.
So come check it out.
All right, give me a link so I can remember.
I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that industry.
Yeah.
I'm good at that industry.
So I found a few interesting articles out there talking about who buys what and how often, and I just want to get into it and see like how true is this in your real life experience? Have you seen / been a part of some of these purchases, and does this connect with you? So that's going to be tomorrow night. Is the SEX toy industry?
Okay, Mika, have you heard of the Rose?
Of course, everybody has.
Oh, okay, because my girlfriend, she just going.
Let me tell you something. There's one that's better than the Rose. It's
What
still
is
better
that?
than the Rose.
What is?
A big black dick.
You got it. You gonna get it washed off and bring it?
Wait, I feel like we should save this for tomorrow.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
And
Yes,
I'm just gonna call
definitely.
you
My bad,
pharmacist
my bad.
because I know you as pharmacist, so I'm just going to call you pharmacist. I would love to have you be a part of the panel for.
Okay, and my girlfriend, Kay, that's on my show. She sells products.
Yes.
She sells those products.
That's the one you need, Primo. You need
Tune in tomorrow to find out what's better than the Rose.
I know exactly because she just acts like it's gonna.
I'm just gonna say this:
the Rose, man.
the first time that I used it, I had an orgasm for like literally 10 minutes.
Woo!
It was like a come to Jesus moment. I was like, it's still going.
Oh my gosh!
Thank you, God.
Oh my god!
Focus up now, motherfucker, and say it.
We'll talk about it
Hey,
tomorrow on
Angela, you're
Primals.
back. Are you going to wrap this show up now?
Yes. So Mika pretty much already said it for everybody. So thank you for that one. Saturday, guys, like she said before, Saturday, and we have another one coming up for Tuesday. I will make sure just to keep an update with everybody. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification. Again, welcome back, Deuce. Appreciate you, brother. Love you, man. I'm glad you're safe. Got all 10 fingers and toes here. Poppy, appreciate you for taking time out to come here. Definitely, like always, Primal, you're my boy. I roll with you. I fuck with you. I got you. See you Sunday on Primal Studios tomorrow, 7 between 8:30 and 9. Like always, again, special shout out to Pharmacy. So stay within the back end so we can collaborate, talk, and all that good stuff. Princess K, I'm gonna drop the link. I think the link is already there, so I'm gonna drop the link. So if you want to chop it, hang out and chop it up with us, you're more than welcome as always on Princess K, because I know you rock with us. So drop the link, and then we're gonna move on from there.
Oh, he's got that windstorm.
And
I
like
just went through that.
always, get that church going. Get that church going.
You're hitting it. You're hitting me.